So you found a great role that you want to apply to, and you decide that you're going to write a fantastic CV that the employer will love. So you work hard to create the perfect CV before making the application. Assuming that your CV gets through the applicant tracking system. For those of you who don't know what an applicant tracking system is, or ATS, it's a software that automatically discards any CV that it deems as irrelevant. But that's a whole other topic for another video in the future. Assuming it gets through ATS, now the HR or the hiring manager has your CV. Of course, they're going to spend at least good 30 minutes carefully reviewing all the content and details that you have included in your resume, right? Or at least 10 minutes maybe? Unfortunately, that is just not the case. How long do you think people spend reading a CV on average? 5 minutes? Maybe 1 minute? Most research says that the average time spent on a CV before it is closed is about 6 to 8 seconds. 6 to 8 seconds, that's it. You see, most HR professionals and recruiters receive hundreds of CVs every single day. Therefore, it is just not possible for them to spend very much time on each and every profile that they receive. Therefore, what this means is that it is imperative that you make sure your CV is able to grab the attention of the readers immediately and stand out right away. Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm an executive search consultant and a career coach at Pinpoint Asia. Today, I will share with you simple tips that'll help you and your resume get noticed faster and will lead to better and more results. But before I do that, I want to share with you what goes on in the minds of recruiters and HR professionals when they open a CV. The first thing they'll look at is the name. You got to find out who applied. And after that, what I will do is I will go through the top section of the first page of your CV. But I will only pay attention to it if it is not too long. If it is longer than 3 or 4 lines, then most likely I will just skip it. And then after that, I'll go to the work experience section and look at information such as the company name, work location, dates, job titles, and things like that. And what I'm doing is basically just skimming through the CV. And the whole thing will take about 6 seconds or a few seconds more. And during this time, if the HR or the recruiter finds the CV to be very strong or relevant, only then they will take the time to read through the CV in more detail. But if not, it'll be closed. And whether we like it or not, unfortunately, this is a harsh reality. But now that you have this information, you can use it to your advantage. So here are the tips that'll help you get noticed in the first 6 seconds. Number 1, keep the top section short. Top section is the first area that people will look at when they open your CV. It is the prime real estate of your resume, and it is information that you write before the work experience section. It is like a headline of a newspaper article. Have you seen a headline that is so long that it spans over multiple paragraphs? No, because if the headline is too long, people will not read it. In the same way, if your top section or summary is too long, then people will lose interest. Instead, it should only contain the most pertinent and attention-capturing content and should not be filled with a long list of generic skills or all the projects that you have worked on so far. As I mentioned earlier, people will want to get to your work experience section as quickly as possible. Your top section should not be longer than should be contained within the first half of your first page. Anything longer than that loses its effectiveness. As they say, if you emphasize everything, you end up emphasizing nothing. Number 2, effective career summary and not career objectives. Another important point that I want to make about the top section is to include an effective career summary instead of a career objective. The main difference is that the career summary is the most pertinent and attention-grabbing highlight of your experience and skills that tells the employer what you're capable of and what you can do for them. Career objective is what you want and what you are looking for. Nothing wrong with what you're looking for, of course. It's just that companies are more interested in what you can offer and the value you can add for them. Therefore, if you want to grab their attention as quickly as possible, it pays to include an effective career summary section. And the key to doing that is writing tangible examples of your unique achievements, preferably with concrete numbers and stats, as well as your strengths that are directly applicable to the company and the role in question. You can think of it as your elevator pitch, a short synopsis of the most impressive details of yourself that'll pique the listeners, or in our case, readers' interest immediately. Number 3, simple and clean layout. I recommend using a simple and clean layout for your CV. One of the most important aspects of a successful CV is that it is as easy as possible for people to find the information they're looking for. In a simple layout, there's a name at the top, followed by contact information, your summary, work experience, followed by other information. And people are used to this format, and they can find the details that they're looking for in a location they expect to find them. I understand that fancier templates with tables and graphics and columns and etc. may look very nice, but often they sacrifice readability, which is probably the single most important factor of a good CV. One exception to this is if you are a designer, web designer, or work in a related industry where there is an expectation for you to create a visually stunning CV. In such a case, of course, you should do that. But if you're not in such an industry and there is no expectation for you to do so, then I suggest that you go for a layout that maximizes readability. Number 4, work experience. Clearly indicate the company names, job titles, dates, and the work location, such as the city or country, in your work experience. This is the first set of information that people look for when they read the experience section. Therefore, it helps greatly to make them highly visible. Really hope this helps, guys. Today, we looked at some of the tips that'll help you and your resume get noticed more quickly and encourage people to read on further. In future videos, I will also discuss how to write a highly effective CV that'll ultimately lead to more first interviews faster. So please keep an eye out for them. As usual, really appreciate all your comments and questions. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.